Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Damien McGuigan, who will fight on Cage Warriors 201 March 13th. Hello, Damien. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's you?
I'm good, and actually, you will have a. I think that overall quite a big fight because it will be, of course, the fight on Cage Warriors, so the best possible place to fight in. And if you can tell me how happy are you that you will be in the Cage Warriors and that you are fighting a little bit more experienced fighter as the pro than you.
Yeah, so like when I got told about this opportunity, I was obviously buzzing. I was waiting for a fight. So the second I got told before I seen who the opponent was, I said to Pat, I was like, I accept. If you trusted me to go fight this guy, I have my complete trust in you and I go and fight him. And another thing I was looking at, this guy, he has more professional fights than me. That may be true, but I've had more fights in my lifetime. I've been kickboxing from I was four, boxing from I was four. I've been in a lot of fights. And even at that, I've had more MMA fights than this guy. So yes, he may be six professional MMA fights, but overall I've had 15, 16 MMA fights. So, I'm a young veteran in this sport and I feel like my experience is definitely going to play a big role in it.
And actually, this is the case like with Ireland, with UK, France, Poland, that we can have quite a young fighter, like 20 years old fighter who got like over 20 like amateur bouts. And of course, like you had an amazing amateur career. You were like a champion in few promotions. So definitely you have this kind of experience to fight on the biggest stage.
Of plenty experience. I've beat some of the best amateurs in my country and some of the best amateurs in the UK. Like, if you go look at my resume for amateur, a lot of the guys I beat are now professional and doing good themselves. So I've been in some tough fights and I am expecting a tough fight, but it's nothing I'm not prepared for.
And even your fight against Alex Holm, who is also a really like a very good up and coming prospect, showed that you definitely you were one of the best fighters, amateur fighters. So definitely, probably it was like good time for you to go pro. And also you are like on the 10 fights winning streak, like
Yeah.
overall MMA.
So yeah, so we're on a good run at the minute. Training's been going good, so like I'm very confident going into this fight. I feel like I can win in every single area, but at the same time, I'm not overlooking my opponent because I know this guy's tough and he's going to want to take my head on my shoulders. But that's what I'm ready for.
And how many weeks of the training for this fight did you have?
You see, well, I got told about the fight on 3 weeks' notice, but for me, I don't do training camps. I just train all year round. Like last year, I barely took a day off. I just kept training. I kept training. From the start of this year, I've been training. I've been doing running. I've been eating good. So like, Shando, he always says this here. Opportunity creates more world champions from preparation. You got to be ready to jump at these opportunities at any given point. So, I could have turned around and be like, oh, I'm too overweight. I'm not fit enough. It's my job to ensure that I'm going to be ready to take these opportunities.
And even right now, in last few weeks, how like often do you spar?
Me, so like I would normally typically spar 1 to 2 times a week. But the second offender to have a fight was sort of up the intensity. So like we still spar quite hard, but we'll do like one time a week where we'll do just 3 5-minute rounds, but it's heavy fight pace, sort of like we're going hard. So we'll do that sort of once a week to help prepare for it. But I'm feeling good, I'm feeling fit.
And when I check the informations about you, I find out that you start like really early when you were really a kid. You have this like kickboxing experience, of course, then MMA. But how old were you when you just started overall your combat sport journey?
Me, I believe I was four, just about turning five. So like I've been doing combat sports for near 16 years now, and I'm only 21. So like that's pretty insane to me. That I've been doing it for 16 years and I'm only 21. So like I've got the experience. All I need now is to get the fights going and just keep showing my ability and showing how good I am.
And overall, do you prefer like MMA? Like, what is like the more what can give you like more enjoyment, like kickboxing fights earlier or the MMA journey right now?
I'd have to say MMA journey. As much as I loved kickboxing, absolutely loved it. From I was a kid, MMA was always my dream. I've always wanted to do MMA because for me, I feel like it's the ultimate package. Because kickboxing is just hands and kicks. You do jiu-jitsu, it's just jiu-jitsu. But MMA is the ultimate form of combat. It's all the combats put in one, and I feel like it's a good testament of who is the better fighter because we have to use all weapons in our body to win the fight. A lot of different disciplines just to win the fight instead of just being limited to a single discipline.
And you definitely also showed your grappling in your previous fights, so definitely it's like the best sport for you, just because you can use all of the tools. And how old were you when you get to a fight Academy Ireland?
Betty Academy, so it was actually funny. Liam sent me last week. It was my mum. She texted Liam 10 years ago about signing me up for MMA. So I got been in Fed Academy 10 years now, and it's honestly one of the best decisions I've made in my life. Well, my parents they put me into it.
So at the beginning, how do you enjoy like grappling part of the game?
So believe it or not, at the start when I first came up, I remember my grappling completely sucked. Like I was just a small kid coming up with kickboxing experience, so why I was doing so good in the feet, everyone was just constantly taking me down. I was getting frustrated. I was like, I'm not getting any success. I was like, I'm going to boxing. That's me done with MMA. But as Adam just told me, stick the course, and I stayed it out. And now I've gotten a lot better everywhere. And honestly, my grappling at the minute, I feel like it's just in terms of my striking. Like I am very confident in my grappling, offensively and defensively. So, I'm a purple belt under Pat McAllister. He's one of the best grappling coaches in the world. So, if you're a purple belt under him, you have to be somewhat good at grappling.
And for now, do you have like the fighters who are like role models for you that can be like mentors for you that you are like inspiring watching in the gym or even in TV?
Yeah, so for me, I take a lot of inspiration from like obviously every lad, all the lads in the gym, like I look up to, but a lot of people I look up to, Paul, Reese, and Paddy, they'd be the three at the top of my head just because like I've known them like from I was growing up in there. I've known these guys. They've helped me out loads. They give me advice, like mistakes they've done in the past, how I can do better. Like they're honestly legends, and I look up to them so much.
And about your next fight, what would be like perfect scenario for you, like the perfect finish or perfect just perfect end of the fight?
You know, obviously, saying that a first round knockout would be absolutely unbelievable and ideal. And yes, I do think I can have it, but I am prepared for a 15-minute tough fight. That's the way I'm thinking going into it. 15 minutes hard fight. And if I get a first round finish or any finish at all, happy days. But I'm ready for a war.
And actually, you have this kind of 15 minutes experience. Of course, it's like a little bit different because you had like 5 rounds for 3 minutes, but in the end, you fought for 15 minutes. So I think that also it is important for you that you know that definitely you can go like in a really good pace fighting for the 15 minutes.
Yeah. I know, like, I'm really fit. I train every day. Like, it's like I literally train every single day. I don't do camps. I'm just always training. So I'm always really fit. So for me, it's just about managing it, going out and fighting how I fight. And obviously, this is going to be the first time I'm fighting in a bigger cage. So I feel like that's going to help me out loads. And my part is a lot of my game is footwork. And I feel like in a big cage, I'll be hard to touch. And I'll be able to bring out more of my skill set and I'll look a lot better.
And of course, like we don't know what's gonna happen in this fight, but when you're thinking about your next fight, like timeline, when would you like to be back in the cage?
Hard to know because last year I had one pro fight. I wanted five. Do you know what I mean? So it is sort of hard. I feel like at the early stage of your pro career, you have to be ready for short notice opportunities. Like, it'd be perfect if I got told you have 12 weeks to prepare for this guy. And that's all perfect. But unfortunately, in this game, that's not the way it works. So I'm just gonna after this fight, depending on how injuries are, how it goes, etc., everything, I'm just gonna straight back to the gym, keep training, stay fit, and then if something else comes up, I'm gonna jump on it straight away.
And actually, like the cancelled fights can be like super frustrating because you prepare yourself
Yeah.
for a few weeks to be in the peak in the best shape of your, let's say, career, but in the end there is no fight. So probably it is like it's like a better approach to be just ready, like you said.
You see, like my amateur career, I had so many pullouts, so many people pulling out the day before the fight, the week of the fight. So I'm sort of used to it at this point. So a lot of times it can be very frustrating because you've put so much work in, but it's not wasted. Like you've put the work in, you're going to reap the rewards. Just keep training until the next fight comes up and you're ready to go.
Okay, Damian. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. Of course, I hope that you will win your next fight and you will be back in the Cage Warriors quite quickly.
Me too, me too. So I'm very confident. I really think I will get the win. But for anyone looking to watch, it's going to be streamed on UFC Fight Pass. So make sure you tune in because this is not a fight to be missed. And I'm going to put on a serious performance.